Status of our audits. 2022 and 2023 audits are now at signing stage, and 2024 and 2025 we are having concurrent audits which is underway. We have got deadlines for us to have these audits being done such that we will be able to have borrowing powers. So we are hoping that by the end of August we'll be through with our audits. Our 2026 budget is 19.342 billion, which has got a capital budget of 6.576 billion and a revenue budget of 12.766 billion. The budget priorities, key priority areas were water and sanitation, harnessing ICTs to increase digital footprint and customer convenience, master plan, small enterprise growth and development. The city's budget is skewed to water and sanitation, and we are seeing great improvement in terms of this sector, where we partnered with Helcro, which is in the process of installing and replacing pipes across the city. We are also having the new ERP, which is which we are going to start using beginning of August. Small enterprise growth and development. I'm sure you all know what is happening in Glenville. Chairman's ground is being prepaid for those who are in furniture industry. The city's budget is program-based, which comprises of 6 programs: the governance and administration, WASH, social services, roads, public safety and security, and natural resources. From the diagram, you can see the green one is the WASH budget, which has got 43%, meaning is the one that is taking the majority of our budget. So our budget is skewed to water and sanitation. That's the funding split. Internal funding constitutes 75%, whereas external funding constitutes 25%. Meaning to say we have to collect the revenues such that our budget must perform. Since the 75% is our internal funding. This is just a capital funding structure where we are seeing the triple Ps having 43%, devolution some 11%, other funds having 3%, now 13%. So the 2026 budget, in terms of capital, is mainly funded by the triple Ps, which I already explained, and we have seen a significant improvement through these triple Ps. From the beginning of the year to end of June 2026, we worked on stable exchange rates, and as well as the inflation, which is not that much. Revenue collection targets. There is something that is called minimum sales delivery standards, where local authorities are mandated to collect 80% of their revenues, and the other 30% to be covered up to 2030. So we must collect our revenues up to 80% in this year's budget. In this presentation, I am going to dwell on to revenue collection, our expenditure, debtors and creditors. I'm just taking you through the revenue collection. Where from January to June, we managed to bill 5.9 billion and collected 3.449 billion. During the month of June, we billed 1 billion and 35 and collected 578 billion. This is just inflows regime from January to June, where we are saying in January we collected 557 million, February we collected 588, in March 601, April 552, 570 in May, and 578 in June. The reasons why our income increased in the first quarter, we had discounts that we offered to you residents, so our revenues increased during this period. But as you see, the revenues begins to goes down because the period for those discounts had lapsed. This is just a indication of billing against demand-driven income, where we are seeing inflows, the inflows in potential. You can see that orange one is a potential, and the blue one, those are inflows. Collection efficiencies from January to June. January, we had a collection efficiency of 59%, February 66%, March 57%, April 55%, May 55%, June 56%. I already explained this. These are the 6 income streams. This is just a performance where we are saying property taxes. We had a proportionate budget of 2.9 billion, and we managed to collect 1.2 billion, giving a collection efficiency of 42%. Refuse removal, we had 52%. Rentals, waiting list, and admin charges, we had 40%. City parking, we received something like 56%. The city parking is quite doing well. Of course, they managed to meet 56% of their target, but they are doing some major works in the CBD where they are installing street lights and traffic signals. So the city parking performance is quite well, although their target is they did not meet their target. We also have water and sanitation, which is at 51%. We managed to receive 10.6 million devolution funds, which we then used to upgrade the Amalinda stream crossing sewer pipe. Then going to our levies, as you know, we get about 3 levies: the water levy, public lighting levy, and emergency service levy. Water levy, we managed to collect 82 million, and right now 30 million has been utilized, and we are also looking for US dollars such that we'll be able to repay. Applications for the sourcing of these US dollars has already been done. Public lighting levy, we are attending to street lights as well as platforms which are being purchased. Emergency service levy, we managed to purchase 5 ambulances, and the other funds, we are also procuring more and more ambulances. Minimum sales delivery rule, it says 70% of our revenues must go to sales delivery, then 30% to salaries. So that diagram shows what is obtained. January to March, that is our first quarter, we consumed 59% on our salaries and 41% self-delivered. Then January to June, we are at 61.5% salaries and 38.5% self-delivered. This is because as I was explaining on our efficiency, on our collection efficiency, as long as our collection efficiency is below the 80% that is on the minimum self-delivered standards, obviously the ratio will not be will not meet what is then expected. That one is just in accrued expenses. January to June, we get an accrued expenses of 4.44 billion. As you look at that diagram, you can see that compensation of employees in red is consuming more, followed by goods and services, then acquisition from own funds. On this one, this is what I was explaining, that we are seeing a significant improvement in terms of recapitalizing through our triple Ps. Since our collection efficiencies are quite low, using our own revenues, the recapitalization is too low. Employment costs versus budget. The proportionate budget is the one that is in blue, and the red that is in strip is the actual salaries. So as you see, we are within the spending limit. We are within the budget in terms of our salaries. Goods and services expenditure lines. Goods and services, that's where the city will be procuring so as to provide service to the residents. So these are operational costs within the city. You'd see that we have got electricity charges at 107%. And you see the performance they are at 107%. And I'm sure I heard Mr. Murim talking about the turning around strategies. The city is in the process of finalizing the turning around strategies, which is going to look into all these issues. So that's the performance of our goods and services. Having the outlets are that electricity charges, the rentals, water chemicals. Those are the major expenditure drivers. I'm now taking you through our capital expenditure. The 1 January to 30 June, of around 421 million. I have already talked about it, that the Helcro partnership is giving us some better performance in terms of our capital budget. As you can see, we managed to install 68,000 water meters across the city, and with a cost of 309 million. We also managed to procure vehicles and some equipment. We have seen our mayor commissioning some of these vehicles and equipment. So our capital expenditure as of June was 421 million, and we managed to purchase elevators at Cleveland. We managed to do Amalinda Zero Crossing using devolution funds, Amalinda Crossing using our own funds, water pipe replacements and prepaid water meters, triple Ps, which amounts to 309. We also managed to purchase UD flatbeds trucks 3, skid steers 2 using our own funds, backhoe loaders 3 using our own funds, motorized graders 2 using our own funds, ambulances 5 using our own funds. We also managed to install a galvanized water tank, a 18,000 liter tank, furniture, laptops. We upgraded our ICT, purchase of laptops. We also managed to install traffic lights. We've got phase 1 and phase 2. We also have a Toyota Hilux by 2 and a Toyota Panda. Those are the capital purchases that we have. I'm now taking you through the water meters installed. The total now of 68,059 were installed across the city, and avenues with 2.6. Warren Park, I think those are the suburbs when water meters have been installed. And this process is an ongoing. We are going to install these water meters, all suburbs. Everyone in Harare is going to be on prepaid, and the progress is we are quite moving well with this project. This triple P is going to address the water challenge in Harare. As the triple P, the HELCRO is also repairing or maintaining the filters at Bottom Jeffrey, upgrading water pipes, as well as installing water meters. Meaning to say, the whole process so we are quite sure that the residents are going to have water. So those are the suburbs, avenues: Warren Park, Westley, Increase Gardens, Red Orange, Newgate, Ashton Park, Neighboring, Newton Park, Startup and Emerald Hill, Avon Lee, Madukero, Maubra, Westgate, St. Martin's, Arcadia, Marimba, Udiriro. Then water pipe replacements. This is an ongoing project, and some locations, some suburbs, we completed the process. So with this, we are going to address the issue of non-revenue water, so that that issue will be a thing of the past. and that will mean that all our water will be accessible. That is our data as at 30 June 2026, 10.8 billion. And at the beginning of the year, we were at 8.4. As you see, the domestic constitutes the majority of our data, followed by industry, commerce, then dormitory, and the government. This is just a trend analysis showing the decrease, the increase of our data from the beginning of the year. So January, the increase was at 3%, 3% at February, 5% at March, 6% April, 4% May, 4% June. So as you can see, between March and April, the data has raised, but May, June, our data are beginning to decrease. There are interventions that we are putting in place to reduce the data pool. That is our creditors analysis, where you can see the ZSR is the major driver of our creditors, with around 1.5 billion. Of course, you can see the salaries. Our salaries, we are at the current month. All employees have been paid up to July. Employees are now waiting to receive their salaries for July. So on that one, I think we made a very to our employees. That is our the creditors trend analysis. You can see January 2.5%, February 5%, in March you see 2.5%. We had a decrease of around 10.5%, an increase of 7.4%, a decrease of 7%. So this is because we have got some of our creditors who also owe us, who also owes City Council monies. So we do settles. That's why you see the deep reduction from 2.8 to negative 10.5, and the 7.4 to that negative 7. It's because of the settles that we do. Since our collection efficiency is just slightly above 50%, we also have some challenges in paying these creditors. And the main challenges that will be there, these creditors will do forward pricing, meaning that it's not going to be good for us to always procure and be able to provide services well in time. And at the same time, continuing not paying our creditors in time, we then lose this. They cannot then be able to provide us with other services that we then want to. That is our current strategies. I'm sure the last time we presented our first quarter budget review, some of these strategies were talked about them, because we are still using them to collect the revenues. Service cards, we are doing the disconnections. These are ongoing. We continue doing disconnections such that those who owe us, we can come on board and pay our monies. Closure of businesses, we are also doing this such that we can get those monies. Internal blacklisting, no license, plan approval, stage approval before one pays less. This is one of the strategies that we then put in place such that we then get our monies paid. You will find out that residents for these monies, and they don't want to pay city council, but they want licenses to operate. They want to do. They want to build. They want their buildings being inspected. At the same time, they are also owing council. So we put this strategy such that we will then force them to pay us. No, if a premise there's some outstanding balance, no one will get a license on that premise. If one is building, or one is to submit his or her plan, as long as he or she owes council, the approval of the plan will not be done. So I'm sure we are seeing some positive in this strategy. We are also doing financial literacy. This is sort of a bit of a punishment where we try to talk to our stakeholders. Please come and pay your dues. Please come and pay your dues. But when our stakeholder refuses, we will then use financial blacklisting, which is not a good to our residents or stakeholders, because we want the relationship to be as it is. Strategies to enhance property tax account. Urgent addition of compliant properties on the billing database. I'm sure you had City Council in the process of regularizing. This is part of the process. As we regularize, also put those properties on the billing database. This will then improve on our revenues. Massive enforcement, development control on illegal use of properties. We are doing this strategy, and we continue to do this. Self-delivery, prioritization, refuse collection, water. I'm sure as stakeholders, you can then testify that the refuse is being collected. That one is positive for us all. And the issue of water, which is already alluded to, is in the process, and we hope that in a few months or a few years, everyone is going to have water. Training and capacitation of district structures. This is an ongoing process. Use of prepaid water meters to collect data. We are also doing this. Decentralization of meter reading. This has already been done. Debt collection, bylaw formulation and approval. This is in process. Over and above this, we are also finalizing the turning around strategies, which will then going to address all the challenges that are affecting the city. With this, I want to thank you.